All right, I'm ready.
Well, the next US president will be inaugurated this week. It comes at the time of huge torment in America. There's 393,000 people dead from COVID. The country's riddled with division, and President Trump's being impeached. Just today, the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell gave party a conscience vote on that impeachment. Ed Blakely, former US Department appointee, how significant is that conscience vote?
It's very significant. One of the things that's different between the Republicans and the Democrats is that the Republicans line up. And that started back in the 80s when the Republicans decided they were going to be the opposition and they would go as one. So this is the first, I believe, conscious vote the Republicans have ever had.
Wow. So do you think the Senate will convict President Trump? And what would that mean, mate?
Well, I think there are two things about this. All the Republicans in the Senate want to convict him because it keeps him out of public life. But it will take 17 of them to actually convict him. The other way they could do it is about 15 or 20 of them not show up for the vote. Because it's 2/3 of the number assembled.
Oh, and that's what gets them off the hook. Oh, that gets them off the hook.
That gets them off the hook. They just don't show up. And I think McConnell has this ploy in mind. That he could talk 20 or 30 of them.
As well. But will America be celebrating that?
Yes. The vast majority of Americans voted. They didn't all vote for Biden, but they went to the polls and did the honored thing, and that is to cast their ballot and to go along with the winner, not the loser. So Trump only has less than 30% popularity right now. The other 70% of the people are barracking for Biden. This is the new American Civil War. In Britain, they called it Brexit.
So America's just torn apart with this division, isn't it? And how bad is it?
America has not fallen apart. What America has done is divided. And I think that's a very different response. It's divided along political lines. America has always been divided, as you well know, on racial lines and on economic lines. And these political lines reflect a different turn of those racial lines. The majority of Americans, the white people, had all the votes. And if they didn't have the votes, they gerrymandered or they organized it so black people couldn't vote. Now that black people and Hispanics and Indians and other people can vote, that is changing the nature of America. Pardon me?
In the light of that, is there any one cause you would say for all this division in America?
Yeah. In my lifetime, being white was enough. It isn't anymore. What is really tough for the average American when he puts in his application for a job and he's competing with a woman or a Sri Lankan, he knows he will lose if he doesn't have the qualifications. And this is the upheaval in Great Britain, Eastern Europe, and all over the place. Multi-politics and multi-race has pushed the lower end into a corner. And how do we get out of that? We have the same problem here.
Yeah, and they don't block it.
They don't like it. They've had Trump to be as their medium, their champion. And they don't like it because that champion has gone away. Look at the people who were in those riots. They weren't some low-income guys. They were police officers, ex-soldiers, radio broadcasters.
Yeah. So do Trump supporters think he failed them?
No, they think the system that they had designed to keep Trump in failed them. And that system was to marginalize the black vote. The white vote is already divided, right? Yeah, but when all the blacks vote in one direction and all the Hispanics and all the Indians and all the people from other places in Asia, that makes the margin. Biden didn't win by big numbers in those states. Remember, he won by 10,000 votes in Georgia.
Yeah.
Out of 2 million. But those same voters came back and rejected Trump again by electing a black senator and a Jew.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Jew's mother is from Australia.
Can President Biden or anyone else for that matter unite Americans?
You know what's going to unite Americans? The vaccine. When the vaccine comes out and everyone gets a vaccination, there'll be, you know, like the, what do they call it? The Arab Spring.
Yeah.
A bunch of new businesses will start opening up.
Yeah.
And the thing that's going to come right after this $1.9 trillion is probably $1 or $2 trillion for American infrastructure, most of which will be aimed at sustainability and climate change. America doesn't have a very big workforce.
The rollout of the vaccine, Biden's most important thing to do.
Oh, yeah, and get it right.
It'll make or break his presidency. It'll make or break his presidency.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he's already shown he knows what to do. He's using the techniques that we used in New Orleans. We brought out the military and others, not to keep people down, but to get them up.
Yeah. So, Ed, do you reckon America's still really the greatest democracy in the world?
I reckon America is sharing that with Australia, New Zealand, Germany, and many other places. I think what we now have is a confederacy of democracies. And that confederate democracies is going to be the future. The United States can't take it militarily. It can't make it socially. It can't make it politically without joining this great arc that Martin Luther King toward peace and justice. And that great arc is happening here in Australia.
God bless you, mate. Thank you so much. You warmed my heart tonight. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Meg.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you.
Great. Thanks very much. It's terrific as always, mate.
Thank you.